Hi, I'm Marva Woods, Paralegal Program Manager of Lexis. This is Module 3 of the Paralegal Student Mastery of Lexis, in which we will focus on cases and administrative agency decisions. Our objectives for today are to start off by discussing the differences between statutory and common law. Then we will take a look at case publication as well as case citation format rules. And then we'll move on to take a look at case law research on Lexis, specifically ways to find cases by citation or party name, effective case searching and reading, as well as locating additional relevant cases using various LexisNexis features. And finally, today we will take a brief look at agency opinions. Let's review the differences between statutory law and case law. Judges interpret the law in the process of resolving a particular dispute between individual litigants, whereas legislators typically make laws by prescribing broadly applicable rules of conduct. Judicial lawmaking is reactive. Judges cannot issue binding decisions unless potential litigants bring their disputes to court. But legislators can be proactive and may enact statutes on their own initiative and on any topic within their jurisdiction. Judges must follow their own precedent and those of higher courts within their jurisdiction, but legislators are not bound by their own previous measures or those of any other legislature. Legislators may freely amend, revise, supplement, or repeal previous statutes. Judicial lawmaking is confined to the holding of the case. Only the court's specific ruling and the reasons that support it are primary authority. However, every word of the statute has the force of law. Statutes are a higher form of primary authority than court decisions. Because of the weight of statutory law, you should find out early in the research process whether there are statutory provisions that relate to your issues. Since statutes usually prescribe broad rules of conduct, courts must interpret and clarify statutory language. Your research on an issue involving a statutory provision will not be complete until you have found the court decisions that interpret and clarify the statutory text. Once you have determined that a statute relates to your issue, you must always check to see whether courts have rendered any decisions that affect its validity or its constitutionality. It's important to understand that official law reports are those authorized for publication by statute or other governmental ruling. Governments designate law reports as official to provide an authoritative, consistent, and authentic statement of a jurisdiction's primary law. Official case law publishing may be carried out by a government agency or by a commercial entity. Unofficial law reports, on the other hand, are not officially sanctioned and are published as a commercial enterprise. The same case can be published in multiple publications. For example, United States Supreme Court cases are published in the official U.S. reports. However, there are two commercial reporters that also publish Supreme Court cases and provide analysis. Always look at your court rules or citation manual to determine what report or reporter is the official site in your jurisdiction. For this reason, many cases have multiple citations, official and parallel. Each additional site is considered parallel to the official reporter. For instance, let's consider this case, Stambowski versus Ackley. The official citation in New York is found in the Atlantic Regional Reporter. And in this case, the official citation is 169 AD 2D 254. Lexis provides additional parallel citations, the New York State Reporter and a Lexis citation. The opinion is the same regardless of citation used, but the editorial enhancements and page numbers do change, so always be careful to make sure that you're using the correct page for your citation. Makes this really easy with our star pagination. Any pages that are from the Atlantic Reporter, the AD2D, would have a single asterisk next to them, whereas the New York State Report page numbers have 2 asterisks and the Lexis citation has 3. We've had that overview of case law. Let's go ahead and go to the Lexis Research System and start reviewing some key tips and techniques for case law research on Lexis. First, let's retrieve a case on Lexis. To retrieve a particular case, you can start entering the name of the case, and as you start typing in the name of the case, the system will suggest one or more documents that you may be looking for. If you see your case listed, just click right on the name of the case to go straight to it. You can also by entering in a citation. When you enter in a citation on Lexis, you don't have to worry about capitalization because it's not case sensitive. Also, punctuation's optional if you want to put periods in your citation format. When we open the document, I want to highlight a few of the Lexis features that will help you quickly understand this case and find additional relevant documents. If you scroll down into your case a bit, you will come to a section called Case Summary. The case summary is a wonderful little mini case brief of your case. The case summary includes 3 parts. The procedural posture tells you how your case got where it is. So was it at a lower court? What did the parties do to get to this stage? The overview are the facts of the case. And then the outcome is the holding. What did the court decide? The case summary is a great way to get a quick heads up as to what this case is about. Is this case relevant? If you scroll just below the Lexis headnotes, you will come to a list of what we call the black letter law, the main legal points from the case. The Lexis headnotes are extremely useful because they'll give you an even better idea of what are the key points from this case. Is this case relevant? The important thing to understand about the Lexis headnotes, the Lexis headnotes are written by Lexis attorney editors, and they do not paraphrase the language from the official opinion. It is language taken directly from the official opinion. If you do see a particular headnote that seems relevant to you, you can click on that headnote number and it'll take you down into the opinion where you can read even more about that headnote topic. If you click on that headnote, back up to your list of headnotes. At the end of a headnote, there is an extremely useful feature called More Like This Headnote. More Like This Headnote will run an automated search to find other cases with the same or similar headnote topic. So now you have many other cases with the same black letter law, the same legal point as headnote number 1 from our case. I'm going to click the back button to go back to our case. Another nice feature to help you better understand your case and to find more relevant cases is if you highlight a portion of the case that's relevant and you click Add to Search, the system is going to run a search on the portion of the document that you highlighted. So it's saving you the time of retyping those terms in your own search. So once again, with 1 or 2 quick, simple clicks, you're able to get a list of many additional cases which are similar to your case, cover topics similar to those covered in your case. Gonna click our back button to go back to our case again. As you are scrolling through and reading your document, there will likely be portions of the document that are extremely important to you. Well, you can highlight any portion of the document. As I mentioned before, you can add it to a search if you want to run a search on just what you highlighted, but you can also make notes throughout this document on Lexis. For instance, you can annotate and say whatever kind of note you want to yourself, or if you're going to submit this document to an attorney, then this could be a note that you want to submit for the attorney to be aware of. In addition to annotating, you can highlight the document. There are different color coding options, so you can highlight as much as you want to. In a previous module, I discussed folders as an excellent way to organize your research. Folders are something you create. You can have as many folders as you want, put whatever documents you want in those folders, and stuff stays in your folders forever until you delete the folders. The reason why I want to remind you of folders right now is if you have made any annotations and or highlights in your document and then you put the document into a folder, your highlights and annotations will automatically be saved in the version of the document that you put in a folder. In addition to folders, of course, you can print, email, download your documents. So that was taking a look at a few key features in a particular document that will help you better understand this case as well as find additional relevant cases. Now let's go back to the main Lexis home screen. I want to discuss a couple of related tools on Lexis. If you want to retrieve more than one case by citation, there's a really easy way to do it. You do not have to retrieve each citation individually. You can enter up to 10 citations in the search box to retrieve them all at once. Simply enter in your citations and hit search. What's so nice about retrieving multiple documents by citation this way is you're going to get your results in a list. And so if you're not in the place where you want to read all of these cases right now, you can simply select the cases and then stick them in a folder or print them. That way you have them when you are ready to read them. Another tool that is a time saver when you need to retrieve multiple citations is Get and Print. With Get and Print, you can retrieve up to 100 documents by citation. So this will save you a ton of time if you do have a handful of documents that you want to retrieve. Before we take a closer look at researching for relevant cases, I want to remind you of our fact pattern. The hypothetical research scenario that we will consider today is, does a seller of real estate have to disclose any ghosts or hauntings on the property being sold? If you hadn't done so already, you would want to sign on to plus.lexis.com. And as we start researching this issue, you want to make sure you are keeping the research step for cases in mind. First, you want to identify the key terms for your research hypothetical. What areas of law does it concern? What possible causes of action exist? And then, as we did with secondary sources in our previous module, we're going to filter to cases. Then we're going to filter within those cases. So what type of cases, what jurisdiction do we want our cases to be from? We're going to review our list of case law results using several Lexis features that'll save us time. And then finally, once we do find relevant cases, using Lexis features to quickly expand our research. So let's get started searching our hypothetical research scenario for relevant cases. I have entered our terms and connectors search on Lexis. As a reminder, if you are not yet comfortable with formulating terms and connector searches, the advanced search feature has several useful tools. So let's go ahead and run this search. 1, in the research process, we put together a good terms and connector search and ran that search. Step 2 is to tell the system what type of documents, what category of documents do we want to take a look at right now? Do you want to see statutes, secondary material, cases? So we want to take a look at cases right now. That's step 2. Step 3 is filter those cases. Filtering is an extremely important part of the research process. When it comes to case law research, jurisdiction is crucial. How a North Carolina court addresses an issue could be totally different than how a New York court handles an issue. And you want to make sure that you are pulling your case law, your primary authority from relevant jurisdictions. So once you have filtered your cases, then step 4 is to use the information in your list of results to help you figure out what cases you want to start reading first. One feature that you will definitely want to use is our search terms map, which is color coding. You'll see that each of our terms was given a color, and as you scroll through your list of results, you'll see that the terms are highlighted and the color coding is provided. So it's a really great way for you to quickly see how your search terms appear in each document. You also can read the little blurb to see, do my terms appear how I want them to appear? Are there any additional terms that I didn't include as search terms that I now realize I want to add to my search? Along this little bar, you can hop through several places in the case to see how your search terms appear in different places. So that's the search terms map, which we also call graphical view. If you look in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you will see the different ways that you can view your list of results. We are looking at the graphical view, but you also can look at the full view, which really just takes away the graphics. You can look at a shortened view, which we call title view, which really just kind of gives the name of the case and the citation, not much more. But then you can also look at Ravel view. Ravel view is an excellent way to view your list of results. What you're seeing now on the right-hand side of the screen, you're seeing the same list of results that we just saw a few minutes ago. It's the top 75 cases from our list of results that we were just viewing. But the difference here is this Ravel view along the left-hand side of your screen. What Ravel View is doing, it is giving you a visual depiction of certain things regarding the cases from your list of results. Each case from your list is represented by a circle. The bigger the circle, the more that case has been cited to by the other cases in this list. So I know now, when I take my cursor over to this big circle, I know that this case has been cited to more than any other case in my list of results. And if I click on that circle, it'll tell me what the case is in the upper left-hand corner. It'll also pop that case to the top of my view on the right, so I can quickly link into the full case if I want to. But a few more things about this Ravel View. If a case is represented by a big circle, then that case is seminal in that regard. It has been discussed. It has been relied on a lot. So if you are conducting research and you're trying to figure out which case should I start reading, which one should I read first? Well, you may want to read the big circle case, because that case has been relied on, discussed a lot. Now, that's not to say that some of the cases that are small circles aren't also relevant. A lot of the small circle cases may also be relevant, but if you're trying to figure out where to start, the big circle is definitely a good place to start. Also, another thing to keep in mind about Ravel View is if you've been conducting case law research for quite a while and you really think that you've gotten all the relevant cases, well, I recommend that you take a quick look at the Ravel View and make sure that you have already taken a look at any of the cases represented by big circles. If not, you'll definitely want to take a look at those before you consider your case law research complete. An administrative agency is an official governmental body empowered with the authority to direct or supervise the implementation of particular legislative acts. In other words, oversee statutes. Make sure statutes are being implemented the way that the legislature intended them to. Administrative agencies can be created by any branch of government, but they do have to be enabled by the legislature to have the power that they have. Judges are appointed to these different agencies, and they are called administrative law judges. Opinions by those judges may be appealed to a court. So that's where the overlap of agency opinions and case law comes into play. As far as agency opinions, there are countless agencies, and the agencies, just like case law written by judges, those agencies have the opinions written by the administrative judges. And some of these agencies include, ethics commissions, workers' compensation, attorney general opinions. When you're looking at the state level, when you're looking at federal agencies, EPA, SEC, IRS, when you want to search for agency opinions on Lexis, you will search in the category administrative materials, which I will show you in a minute. And so you'll see that there are a lot of agency decisions that are available to you, and you really use the same search strategies as you used for case law. When you want to find the agency opinions on Lexis, simply go to your category and select administrative materials. And once you've selected administrative materials, you can filter in several ways, just like with any other search. And one of the ways to filter is by particular agency. Well, that wraps up Module 3 of the Paralegal Student Mastery of Lexis. Remember, you have several options for getting research assistant. In addition to reaching out to Lexis customer support, you can always reach out to me via email or schedule a meeting with me via Calendly. Your next steps. Complete the Module 3 exam by going to LexisNexis University. Click on your account in the upper right-hand corner and then click your classes. You must get at least 80% correct on the exam to pass. And once you have passed, you can go back to your LexisNexis University account and download your certificate. Thank you for watching Module 3. Let me know if you have any questions or need any additional assistance.